This week's soup of the week is going to be a lovely mushroom soup, and the ingredients we need for this: 600 grams of mushrooms. You can use whatever mushrooms you want. If you're a forager and you want to use chanterelles, trumpets, if you want to buy shiitake, oyster, I'm personally using some baby portobellos, some chestnuts, and some of your standard white button mushrooms. That's because these are all the ones which are available in Asda's, and that's a convenience factor. And I'm assuming, like me, a lot of you don't go out foraging for your mushrooms. I don't trust myself personally. Also, to go with the 600 grams of fresh mushrooms, we've got a small handful of dried porcini mushrooms. These are in a jar, but I picked these up in Lidl's on Italian week. During Italian week. 2 cloves of garlic, 1 red onion, 1 handful of fresh thyme, and 1 handful of fresh parsley, 1 lemon, some mascarpone, some olive oil, and finally a litre of stock. Now you can use vegetable or chicken stock depending on your preference. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our handful of dried porcini mushrooms and we're just going to cover them in boiling water to soak. Just enough to cover the top of them. Pop them to the side. Meanwhile, while that's heating up, we're going to peel and finely slice our garlic, and we're going to get our red onion peeled and finely chopped. The garlic sliced and peeled and sliced nice and thin, and then we've got the onion chopped up nice and small. Now that that pan's heated up, we're going to add some olive oil. We're going to thoroughly wash the mushrooms. Mushrooms are one of those ones where they do a really good job of accumulating and holding dirt. So we'll give them a good old scrub and slice them. Take the chestnut mushrooms out of these 3. Take the prize for the most amount of dirt on them. To the hot oil, we're going to chuck in all of our fresh mushrooms. Looks like an awful lot of mushrooms, but mushrooms wilt down and mushrooms will cook down quite small anyway. After about a minute of the mushrooms cooking down in the oil, we're going to add the garlic, the red onion and the thyme. So I've removed the woody stalks and I've taken all the leaves and chopped it up. Going to add a little bit of seasoning at this point. So some black pepper and some sea salt. Smells amazing already. I absolutely adore mushrooms. Now that the mushrooms have started to cook down in and you can start to see liquid form at the bottom of the pan, we're going to go ahead, take out the porcini mushrooms. We're going to take half of them. We're going to chop them. And then we're going to add the chopped ones to the pan, plus the whole ones. And then we're going to take the water that we soaked, the water from the soaked porcini mushrooms, and then we're going to put them through a sieve to get rid of any chances of getting, to avoid any chances of getting any grit on them. Stir that through. You can see now that it's reduced down quite significantly. And now we're going to leave this to cook down for 20 minutes until the majority of the liquid has disappeared. Right, we've reduced down the liquid quite considerably. And what I think I'm going to do is take half the mushrooms out and blitz them down, and then leave the rest in the actual soup. So that's all blitzed down into like a puree, and I'm going to go ahead and add that back to the soup mix, to the rest of the mushrooms. Mix that through. It's a really nice dark rich colour to that. A really strong mushrooms flavour smell to it. We're going to add the litre of stock. And again, we're going to simmer it for another 20 minutes. After cooking for 20 minutes, you might hear a bee. I've just shooed him out once. He's just come back in again. Don't know what is up with that bee, but he likes it in my kitchen today. So, at this point now, it's up to you whether or not you want to blitz it down, blend it completely. But I actually quite like having thick bits of mushroom in my soup. Let's see if I can zoom in. I actually quite like it like this. Now, if you want a completely smooth mushroom soup, then go ahead and use your blender and blend the whole thing down. Just a couple more ingredients left to add. We're going to chuck in the parsley. I like to add a little squeeze of lemon. Again, that is completely optional. Get out, bee. A big spoonful mascarpone cheese. Stir that through. That's going to add an extra bit of creaminess to the soup. I put that bee out 3 times. I'm not even kidding. Maybe I'm the one at fault because I keep leaving the back door open. Finish it off with a little bit more pepper and salt. At this point, you're seasoning to your own preference. There you go, there we have our second soup of the week. So week 2, mushroom soup. And I've made this one lovely and thick with lovely chunks of mushrooms. And it still stayed creamy. So creamy with the mascarpone, but with thick chunks of mushrooms for a real hearty mushroom soup. Let's give this a little taste. Superb. Oh, absolutely delicious. I'm going to go as far as saying this is better than the tomato soup I made last week. It's full of flavour. I absolutely adore mushrooms, and being able to make it yourself and put a selection of different types of mushrooms. You can experiment all day long with different mushrooms. Having it thick with mushroom bits in it makes it like a really hearty soup. Enough here to serve 4 people. I highly recommend this one. This one's probably going to be one of my favourites. I hope you enjoyed this. Check out week 1 with the tomato soup, and there'll be a new soup of the week every week from autumn all the way through to winter. Jump in the comment section, let me know any soups you think I should try. Share your recipes with everyone. Let me know if you're going to try this one, if you prefer yours blended completely or you like chunks of mushrooms like me. I hope you see you next week for another soup of the week. Bye bye.